Hey guys, Can-Am Connection. We're back. We're back. We have things to talk about.
We
you're
do.
right, Jay Clean. This should be an interesting pod.
I'm being haved today.
Whew. And it's 1 week before we leave for the Arnolds.
Yes. How you feeling?
Not ready, but I will be in a week.
That's all
You're
that matters.
kidding me, right?
Of course, I'm not ready. I just started rest mode today.
Oh man.
More specifically, after practice last night.
Yes, Jay Clean. It's officially afternoon for you. I just finished breakfast, so now you know.
Man, y'all have had food? I haven't eaten anything yet. I've been go since 6 a.m. this morning.
You're a busy man these days.
God.
Where do you guys want to go right now?
Well, I think we start with Saturday, correct?
Let's
Who
go.
won? Who won, Jody?
Was it Tim?
Maybe.
It sounds like it was Tim.
I got the results right here if you want to talk about them. I
Yeah,
didn't
let's
get
go
you
over
to
the
see the
matches.
pay-per-view.
Well, let's go over matches.
Let's
I
go.
mean, it kicked off. I mean, the first match was a good match, but then,
Which was the first one again?
what was the first match, Jody? Hold on, I'll pull it up.
Was that Vasily and is it Stoy? How you pronounce it?
Stoyan.
Yeah.
And Stoyan won that one.
Yeah.
After losing the first round, then he just kind of flipped it and took over from there, and it was very one-sided after that.
Well, I didn't win that one, so you and Ryan got that one right.
Who was the overall winner? Let's just say that. Do we know?
I didn't tie him up yet, so we're going to go through it now. We'll tie him
All
up.
right.
Okay. Match two.
So we're going to blast through these because they were a lot of them were one-sided.
Very.
Was it Frank and Kalinchenko?
Sergey Kalinchenko
I'm
was
pretty sure I
very.
got that one correct.
He was very dominant in that. I mean, we all saw Frank take his hand. And then,
but he can pull without it. So
yeah,
we knew.
I'm 0 for 2. The hell.
All right, match 3.
Match 3 was Brad Gundy and Bacho.
that was super dominant by Bacho. I mean, Brad had no purchase at any point in the match, did he?
Jeez, Round 3 doing pretty good so far. I think I've picked all 3.
Brad looked like he had a little in the third round, but I mean, Bacho is just jeez.
See, those third rounds are tricky because sometimes those guys take their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean when you're up to nothing?
Yeah.
Right. And you're going to win. You just need to, make it a little more interesting.
Round 1, Bacho just held Brad dead center, and Brad was like, I have nothing. And Bacho he literally did this.
Yeah.
Round 2, very similar.
To go back what you were saying, SB, is that I don't want to say they take the gas off the pedal. I think when you're up 2-0, you might want to try something different because you can afford to, waste one bullet per se. Because if you do, then you're still up 2-1. You can go ahead and just finish it off. But maybe they want to try something different. That's how I look at it.
I don't think that they do that, Jody. I honestly don't. Trying something experimental would be foolish in a match of that caliber.
Even if you're up 2-0?
I think if you know you're going to win, if you know that next match is yours, you might just ease up a bit. Because when there's such a discrepancy in strength, you can make it look a little bit better without just trashing the guy in all straight matches.
Yeah, right? There was a discrepancy in strength in that, from hand to wrist to elbow to bicep. Everything was just very one-sided in the Bacho Brad Grundy match.
Yeah. The only time I would say that somebody would experiment and try something different, like diving into a hook when they're a top roller, is if it's like
you're down.
You've already won the match and you're continuing to pull the rounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if you're just can't get to your lane right there, and you're just saying, to heck with it, I'm going sideways.
Yeah.
Yes, Brian Gabriel, when going for money, you don't want to experiment. But of course, I don't pull for that kind of money, so that's why I do what I do. So I get it. I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, and this is actually accurate because John is an outlier, And sometimes John would pull tournaments, and he wouldn't even wake up until he took a loss. So
yeah, and then he was just.
And then you better not be the next guy to pull him.
Yeah, then you were angry, John.
Right.
Yeah.
The next match was Daddy Khan and Alex Kradeka.
That's a bit of a surprise for me.
Holy Daddy Khan. Like,
I'm assuming he won.
Alex never got anything going in the match out of round one. I mean, there was that foul that happened in round one, and then after that, it was just boom, boom, boom. Like, it's, you know, I don't, did I pick Daddy Khan in that one? I'm pretty sure I did.
You and Tim did.
Yeah, I knew after watching Daddy Khan and Morozov, and then Morozov and Kardec.
Neil disagrees. You want to know why? Run it, Neil. Go ahead.
Sure, type away, Neil. But anyway, let's keep going while he's typing.
But that was an incredible performance by Daddy Khan. Like, geez, where is he at now in the super heavyweight? I mean, he's kicking the door down for a title shot at supers. He has to be.
Right. I tell you what,
performance.
I'm happy I got this one right. Fia Ryzik, Malin.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say anything. Fia was so prepared for that match. I thought Malin's speed was going to come into play, but every time she would hit, her hand would just do this, and then
it's so odd to me because they're so like close,
friendly, yeah,
and in the same training realm. How do you really prepare effectively?
Yeah,
you know, and you must have an idea of how the match is going to go long before it ever gets to that day.
Yeah,
that's just weird. That'd be like Levon having a match with Gennady. That's just weird.
Well, I mean, think about it though. I mean, Malin came out the victor every time prior to this with Fia, and like Fia said too, the thing that scared her most about this match was Malin's speed. If Malin was able to get any purchase to her speed, then it was going to be, the match could have very easily swung in the other direction. So, I mean, kudos to Fia for just being too much. And she's the first person now to hold the right hand and left hand championship in a weight class. And there's nobody else, no other male, no other women that have that accolade. It's just Fia Ryzik.
Give her flowers. She earned that one. So, Oleg Zalk and Daniel Prokop. How you pronounce the name again?
Prokopchik. I think I picked Prokopchik in this one, and boy, I was wrong.
I picked Oleg.
I think I picked Daniel as well.
I mean, Daniel was able to get to a spot, but just Oleg was just too much.
Well, maybe we finally seen Oleg come back to form from all the years gone by from that accident.
Well, he said he wants to go back. He said he wants to go up to 95 now. I mean, he did say the post match. So
yeah, I mean,
but after seeing what I saw at 95, that could be a very bad day for him.
Yeah.
So right now we're all tied at 3. By the way, just so you know, we're all dead.
Oh, geez.
Because the next one we have was Petrenko and
Betkilioniani. And congratulations to the new champ, Oleg Petrenko, with a very dominant 4-0.
Who do we take?
Betkili.
I thought Betkili, just based upon like his latest form, was just going to be too much.
Go ahead. It's because Brad was getting murdered and was aware of that. At that point, you have to realize that there are big changes essential. So change it up. I had a word, and round 3 was a bit better.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, in round 3, he did get some purchase in the match. But those first 2, yeah, you're spot on, Neil. Like it was bad in the first 2.
It kind of reminded me of that match 3 between Clifton Erickson and John Terrion, where Terrion looked so dominant the first 2 rounds, and then once Clifton got that bite, I think, okay, now he has something. Maybe he can make him work. So, but still, nonetheless.
To me, that also looked like John took his foot off the gas just a smidge.
Yeah.
And then almost regretted it because he let Clifton get into a spot and he almost couldn't get him out of it.
Yeah, then he took that foul, and then he
Yeah.
got it serious again.
Yep.
That's where your table IQ comes into play.
Yeah.
I still
And
can I just say anybody at 95 right now though is in trouble with Oleg Petrenko on the left because it wasn't long ago he was giving why am I drawing a blank issues Alajon issues on the left hand,
Mhm.
and that was at what 105. So good luck at 95 if you're trying to beat that guy.
Yes.
agreed.
Well, I think we all got this one right. Araceli and Toddzilla. Need we say more?
Yeah. Can I just say that press that Araceli threw out on Hutchings was incredible. Like I know Todd's not, he's not he's not used to pulling this way. It's all, this way. But for Araceli being as tall as he is and have the lever length that he has to be able to be here, kick his wrist back, slide in, and then press straight through Todd that way was incredible. Like you don't see a tall guy with a long lever do that.
Right.
It's just not. And then for Todd making that adjustment to where Araceli was trying to kick that back to get in that position again, for Todd to go forward and start adding that cut back into him to shut that path down just shows that Todd Hutchings just isn't a side pressure arm wrestler. He's a very intelligent arm wrestler that can make adjustments on the fly.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it does help that you're an engineer, or not you, but he's an engineer. And
yeah,
I'm starting to think that he doesn't get he gets the respect, but people don't talk about him as much as I think they should for whatever reason.
Because they see him as one-dimensional, and he's not.
no, he's not at all.
He has an ace that's pretty awesome and not very appealing to watch, but he's got other things.
And we'll talk about somebody's ace. And I said it before on the show. We'll get to that. So
How about? I mean, what do we do? What do you do now at 95 with him? Do you put him against a Petrenko on the right? Because that could be an incredible
It'd be a
match.
great match. Why not?
maybe.
I mean, there's endless possibility, I think, for potentially really amazing matches for Todd at 95 and Petrenko at 95, if
Yeah.
that's where Petrenko chooses to make his home at.
Mm-hmm. And everybody in the chat, we see you up there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We're just kind of getting into these matches, so we're not ignoring you. Next one. As expected, even without the injury, Vitali over Morozov.
So that was the main event.
Yeah, there wasn't. They changed that match order slightly.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just going by what we had.
yeah, let's go with this one because that
Okay.
was the order we had it on the
Right.
sheet that we went through.
I mean, can we just
That was awesome.
can we appreciate Morozov's ability to hold that post
If
on that
Vitali,
bicep?
I will say this: if Vitali did not come in, if any
press.
previous version of Vitali showed up except this one, he would have lost that match.
I 100% agree with you.
So I'm glad that he is now the owner of the trucking company and can, train appropriately and come in as a monster, because I think he's only going to get better. I don't know. Like, the rematch will be interesting, but I think Vitali wins the rematch.
You know what I loved? I loved when they got the stop and you see him and Morozov, Vitali Morozov, like surfing at each other, because they're friends. You know what I mean? But they're doing it in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, let's go, because nobody's expecting this, and that gave Morozov fire. Where that lock right there at the bottom where he was able to hold Vitali, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morozov looked so good that I thought it was going to be.
I thought after that I was like,
but
yeah,
my goodness.
Can we also appreciate the fact that round 5? Morozov's elbow went. It might have been round 4. Like, we're not sure. But look what he did. Look at round 6. Like, when people say, "Oh, I'm injured," that dude's elbow came apart at that point. Anybody that hasn't seen the bruising and the swelling on his arm, go check out his Instagram page.
It is nasty. But I will say this: depending on what kind of injury you got, sometimes your adrenaline will kind of cover up that.
Oh, I don't think it was covered up because during the match, after certain rounds, he was grabbing that elbow, wincing, and
He just
like
fought, man. Like that was
yeah.
impressive.
That's what I'm saying. Like for him to just that sixth round when he's down 3-2 to just dive into that press, knowing okay, this thing's already done for, and I'm committing. Like
Well,
you
it's
you
like
don't see people do that. I'm sorry. Like
it's all or nothing. I don't. So you know how some people say you got to break my arm to beat me or whatever. I'll break my whatever.
yeah. I mean, it's
You
that
know.
fight or flight. It's that fight or flight mentality, and he does not have a backward step. I mean, he's still committed fully to just diving.
I think that he probably, see, Stack says Morozov didn't impress me too much. I think he was the most impressive guy on the card. In a loss.
Yeah, in a loss for sure. I mean, how can you not? How does his stock not rise even more from what it was? Because everybody, I mean, the polls showed that Vitali was the heavy favorite going into this. Everybody thought Vitali was just going to whitewash him, and that was not the case by any means. I
It
had
was
the
one of
elbow.
those. Vitali seems to get in these wars where he makes matches great. Remember the Chafee versus Vitali the first time?
Oh yeah,
Just went to the silver bullet, and like that's when we knew Dave had a press all of a sudden. And it's just like he's always involved in matches where, man, it's awesome, Okay, we're at 10-5, Ryan 5, Nate 5, me 6. We got 2 matches left, and this is where I think a lot of conversations will probably go. So let's hit it.
I think Nathan pulls ahead here when he was trying to sabotage somebody, and he gets the win.
Monster Todd, Hermes. I picked Monster. So did Ryan. In your heart, I know you wanted Monster, but you picked, so we'll go ahead and give you that one.
Well, like I said, I've continued, my streak of I think it was 5 in a row now where I pick against him and he wins finally comes to an end. So I'm 1 for 6 on it. I mean, that's still not great odds.
Right. So tell me something.
And who did Tim pick? Tim must have picked Hermes.
Tim and Nate picked Hermes. You and I picked Monster. Can we dive into this match for a second? Because
we have to, because I wanted to touch on what we do with what Michael Todd does now.
Because and this is what I was afraid of, right? And I've seen the highlights. We talked about a second ago, Todd, he has that one move, but he's pretty smart. With Michael, if you notice, if he doesn't get that press, the off the go pin, he goes right back to that. So you almost get to a point where he's so predictable, like, okay, and Hermes is like, okay, I'm kind of waiting for it. It's almost like he baited him to do that. So when Michael came back like that, Hermes kind of sat there and did this, and it was just, and then the referees took over and Michael's getting pissed off. And what do y'all think about that?
I think a lot was told on that first start in the straps, where Michael does that big explosive outside hit and Hermes just does not move from center. And he is just, whoop, and he was just it was stonewalled in the center.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, and we've talked about it, the kryptonite to Michael is somebody with an amazing top roll and a really good press. And Hermes has an amazing show and an amazing press. Dog's mad at somebody.
And so patient in
yeah, he doesn't. I mean, he hits, comes back, climbs, hits, comes back, climbs, gets your hand, and then transition to the press in round 1. Round 1 was just picture perfect arm wrestling on how to beat the King's move.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Then Michael tried his press to no avail.
Yeah. But Michael's ability to hold right there at the bottom, though, where there's that 1 to 2 centimeters there is incredible.
Yeah.
But the problem is when somebody's this far out of your hand and they're literally holding you here and you're having to and it's hard to beat that.
So you tell me, SP, what are you thinking? Because you said the question is, where does Michael go from here?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on what he is at peace with in his mind. Because I don't see a path to Levon.
Well, yes and no. I kind of agree with you and I kind of don't.
Okay.
Go ahead, run it.
Well, Hermes said he wants another match before facing Levon. And Vitali said he wants more time before facing Levon. So who do you throw against Levon?
They're not going to take somebody that just lost. It's more likely to be Devon than it is Hermes, to be honest.
Oh, you mean Devon at this weight?
Yeah.
Do you want to see? I mean, do I want to see a Devon Levon so soon though?
Well,
I mean, I definitely want the Vitali match.
a guy coming off a loss rarely gets a shot at the title.
Right.
Devon, in fairness, is much heavier, looks much stronger, and won.
Yeah,
convincingly. No, very convincingly.
Yeah. So how do you say that it should be Michael over Devon in this scenario, right? There's no one else.
I'm not saying that.
There's no one else, right? That is a scenario where Michael could get that match. But are we going to want to see him go against a guy that is arguably can pull the exact same style as Hermes, but is way stronger?
I mean, some people even said, hey, how about the Devon Hermes rematch? I've heard that too.
I would love that. That'd be a good match. But Hermes, that's just.
I mean, Devon just called Hermes. Devon just called Hermes out on the left arm for Arlington.
Hermes lost that match before it started. Then they pulled. Devon was already in his head before that started.
That's what I was going to say. He cannot get around the games. Hermes cannot get around the games, and he just looked like a shell of himself when they walked up to the table.
Yeah, you could just tell his confidence was blown.
Yeah.
As soon as Devon got in his hand. But can I say something kind of on this, but kind of off topic? And this is where the chat's gonna crucify me right here. Is Devon also the current 231 or 253 right hand champ too?
I think he vacated it. He vacated the 231. I'm pretty sure.
Sure. Okay. Is he the 253 champ?
Yes.
No? Okay. Here's my problem with that. If Devon's at 300 pounds or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I got another shot at Levon coming up, and maybe I got to get Vitali out the way, or maybe Hermes out the way." Meanwhile, what does that 253 class look like? This is my issue when you hold different titles in different classes.
Does he own it? I thought Reno owns it.
Maybe.
I think Reno owns the 253.
Okay. My whole thing, if he vacated one of the belts, that's cool, because I don't think it's fair to keep that particular weight class waiting while he's doing his other stuff. That's just out of fairness of the other athletes. That's where I'm coming from with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Reno is the right hand 115 because remember he blew out his elbow and stuff. Same way as Morozov did.
So Brian Gable says Devon beat Hermes while being much smaller. I don't want to see a big Devon against him. Thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, if they do it,
that's first statement.
Yeah. Like I said, he did call Hermes out left-handed for Arlington at the end of March. So I mean,
left-handed. Okay.
Left-handed.
Okay, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know. Like you think
Michael was in the right headspace to pull Hermes, because he looked like he lacked. He was like the kind of the laughing, less aggressive Michael.
Okay.
I mean, the last time we saw that was against Angarbayev.
He's done that before too. The original King of the Table match, Devon and Michael. When Michael starts laughing and joking, he knows he's lost.
Well, there's no fight left.
Right. He just laughs it off. Like it's not even, it's like, I don't want to use the word give up, but when he starts being comical, then it's like he knows it's over. He did that against Devon. He did it, pretty much with this one, so it's like, does that make, you know what I'm saying?
It just didn't look like I want to see the guy that's the aggressive Michael that's pulling Jerry and refusing to, or leaving with his goddamn hammer. It's
the Styles match. It's a Styles match at this point. Stylistically, that when you said round one, that first wham, it just stopped right here. It's like, okay, now what? And I think Hermes put himself in a position where he can stop that or catch that.
Oh,
know?
he did stop it. Like, there's no question he stopped it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see many people stop Michael right here.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stack says Mike looked possessed going into the match. He became normal and insane after the match. Yeah, I mean
after match 1, but sometimes you just don't feel it, but you can fake it until the match starts.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, Jay Clean says Mike was really weird going into the match. Like, it didn't seem like the Mike we all know. Brian Gabriel, Michael's rarely in the right headspace when there's a question, he won't win.
It's an interesting statement. I mean, we've always had a question of like his last even when he pulled Frank, like we didn't necessarily think he was going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Jay Clean says Mike's problem is that the top 3 guys all possess the same things that make them a nightmare for Mike to pull. What top 3 guys are we talking about?
I think. I mean, Levon also obviously creates a challenge for every single super heavyweight. Vitali generates an issue too for every single super heavyweight. Hermes has his things where we've seen him give Levon problems. We've seen him give Vitali beat Vitali. Like, those are your top.
Like Michael used to really rely a lot on hand control off the start.
Yes.
To make his King's move effective. Well, those guys, you're probably not going to get it. So
yeah, I mean,
get into the King's move, but you're going to give away your hand a little bit.
I mean, he was keeping his pronation and stuff better with Hermes, but it didn't matter because Hermes was so far up on his hand climbing through that strap. I mean, it was
tax. I don't know about that.
You think so? Really?
I don't know.
Jay Clean agrees too.
It's going to be hard for Michael to get to the strap with Vitali. I mean, everybody struggles to get to the strap with Vitali.
But here's the thing, if Vitali decides to slide the elbow forward and create that height, that's going to be rough.
Well, I don't think the press will work with Vitali because he's so long that Mike will be pressing into his forearm here. It's gonna have to be an outside move to go through Vitali's hand and wrist, which are like second to only Levon.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that with Michael, this is where the style is like you got to have a plan B. I guess his plan B would be that press, but when there's no access, there's no lane there, it's immediately boom, boom. I'm going here now. Either unless he's baiting somebody here, then he whips out last minute. I don't know if he's baiting somebody or he went and it just stopped and then he goes back to what he knows.
Maybe that's what I see. There's some back and forth on this now about Vitali or Michael, and that might be a match that's coming up.
Run it.
It's got potential.
We figured it out right here. Monster Michael Todd's next match is Vitali.
I mean, Ingan did announce Vitali versus Levon if Vitali wants it. So,
but did he say he wants time to? Okay, he wants time, right? But does that mean he gets to hang out with the left-hand belt then, or what?
Well, if he's going to pull a right-handed match, then he would. I'm sure he's going to want to. After a war like that, he's going to need some time to recover that left.
Oh, no doubt.
So if he takes 4 months off to not pull left and pulls a right-handed match and then goes back and pulls a left-handed match.
Ooh, David Jansen. I disagree, Jay Clean. Michael is a fast press and Dave Chapey is a power press.
Oh, there's definitely power with Michael there. I don't think there's a question about it.
I think it's more here. Yeah. It's power, but it's here where Dave is more.
Well, Dave is here.
Yeah.
Well, the issue with Michael's press is when he doesn't get it, it snaps back to center immediately and he defaults to the King's move.
And like I said, I don't know if it's either one or two things. Either A, he tries it and that lane is not there, okay, I'm going back, or is he baiting somebody to, what can you do? Then I can.
Well, I
You know what
think
I mean?
look at what Neil Pickup's one of Neil Pickup's favorite moves used to be the fly fisherman, right? He would hit outside and then boom, quick bump inside, then right back outside, right? I mean, he's also using that. Michael's not, I mean, he's not a dumb person. He's using that press to hit, and as he hits in, if it stops, quickly comes back outside like the fly fisherman, and bang, now he has access to your hand and wrist, right? So they go hand in hand. The way Michael pulls outside versus the way Michael pulls his press, that quick boom, boom.
The problem is that when you do that so many times, it doesn't work. It's like, okay, he does. If you notice though, he doesn't really go back to that. Once he tries it once and it doesn't work, he doesn't really go back to that.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, we've seen him do it with people too, where he hits several times like that, and then he'll hit back outside, and he'll keep doing it, and eventually that hand starts doing this, and he starts gaining access.
Because with Gennady, he did that and it just went right through, hot knife through butter. Whereas Hermes, he was so pronated and he was pronated, it was locked, and he was so up here that it didn't work, it didn't budge. He tries that against Vitali with a long arm, that ain't gonna happen. I'm telling you.
I kind of like this comment here. So this could be the path.
Yeah,
Vitali is Michael Levon. He is the most hyped and respected guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it.
So
East versus West. You heard it here. We just made the match.
There you go. So if Ingen does make that match, do we get any kind of kickback for that?
I don't think so.
Well,
on to the other match.
On a side note, some Russian YouTube channel posted every single match right after it happened.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not cool, guys. Not cool.
Okay, so Ingen, you better go after them like you would do anybody else. That's all I'm saying.
How do you do that? Like, go after?
You have a team, and then you hit them with copyright strikes, and then what that does eventually gets their channel shut down.
Yeah. You got to do that.
I mean, they did this. It was the same thing. Like they've done it before. I mean, but that's what you have to do. I mean, if you're with a business, you can't allow people to steal your intellectual property, essentially. So,
all right, let's go on to this next match. Then we'll talk about the exhibition match, which I did not watch. So
Devon and Gennady, we all picked Devon, dominant fashion. Need we say more?
Nobody picked Gennady. Huh.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we kind of knew going into that. Like, yeah.
I mean, Devon was just too much. It didn't matter what would have happened in that match. I don't care what anybody says. If they'd have let Gennady start like this, I don't see that match going anywhere than the way it went.
Yeah. I don't think there's much to say about it. I mean, it was pretty one-sided.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Devon looked and he looked ungodly. Like it looked his form right now at this size. What's the potential? Like that's the question we have to be asking. Where is there anybody outside of Levon that can beat Devon in this current form?
It would have to be a Vitali, and I'm not even sure that would. Yeah.
If it would be a Vitali, it wouldn't be 3-0. That's just me though.
Yeah. It's going to be. I mean, there's a lot of questions in the super heavyweight, which is a good thing, right? Like having all these questions, and potential matchups is never a bad thing.
As many times as he's reinvented himself, he's managed to get us talking like he could be the guy to go back against Levon, even though we've seen it a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and we've seen him in two different forms against Levon. Form 1 at KOT.
Small Devon.
EBW, bigger Devon.
Yeah.
Now this is, supersized Devon. Yeah, he's turning into Super Shredder. Like he drank the ooze and now he's You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there's endless possibilities right now inside of the EBW super heavyweight. I mean, there's a lot in every class right now. I mean, which is fantastic, right?
Yeah, it gets everybody talking. You know, I still want to. I would still love to see Devon versus Morozov. Obviously not left now, but you know,
Yeah. I mean,
maybe even a Devon versus Vitali left hand.
yeah.
You know, that could be
Alijon's right there. Alijon's right there can give anybody problems on the left hand any day of the week,
Mm-hmm.
or possibly be the number one left hand in the world. We don't know.
Possibly.
Datacan just shook up everything in the super heavyweight class. Like, here's a question: where does Krdajic go from here now? Because now he's had two back-to-back left-handed matches, arguably with two of the top three in the world. Gave the person that just lost the title, a hell of a war, and just got. I mean, it's stylistically it's different, right? But Datacan
Yeah.
is so tight and so compact and so fast to a spot, it was just able to shut Alex down. So, like,
He's
where does
fourth
Alex
place.
go?
He's fourth. So he'll
But
face.
is he? But is he?
I
Where's
believe he is.
What about Alijon? You put him over Alijon?
Well, maybe that's the match. Maybe that's the next match.
Or is it Datakian versus Alijon? Or Datakian versus Vitali? Or Alijon versus Vitali? Like,
Well, I think it's Dadikon versus Vitali. Morozov is going to be out,
yes.
and then you put for a little while, and then you put Krdajic versus Alijon.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many potential matchups right now at every weight class, especially now with Todd coming in and shaking up the 95 kilo class. Oleg Petrenko shaking up the 95 kilo class. Like,
Or maybe we have the rivalry amongst the guys that used to train together, or maybe still do.
who?
You put Camille against Krdajic.
Against who? Krdajic?
Yeah,
On the, where does Camille
the
fall
left.
into that left-handed?
There's so many athletes in this league. It's like,
Oh.
like where does are we ever going to see? God, I lost my train of thought. Getting old, man. Getting old. Ungerbayev. We haven't seen him in a while. We haven't seen.
Well, he had surgery.
Oh, is that what? Okay, is that what it was?
Yeah.
And what
he had
about Prutnik? I mean, there's guys out there where you haven't seen him in a while, and
I don't know.
just a thought, And when does Jerry come back? You can't just lose a title match and then just vanish,
Yeah.
Just go out there, But yeah, I mean, there you have it. The winners are plural: Tim, Nathan, and myself. All three-way tie. Ryan by one, lost by one.
Well, we were all
For fuck's sakes.
we were all right there then, huh?
I have a battery and a smoke detector that's going off next to me. What great timing. Let's just try to get through it.
I don't hear it, but go ahead.
You don't hear it? Okay, we'll keep going.
I heard it once, but it's no big deal.
You said that you want to talk about the exhibition match that probably was, from what I hear, probably never should have happened. Who wants to roll with that?
What happened? Please tell me Levon didn't throw a match to this guy.
No, Levon, I mean, I don't know. I think there was a lot of Ingen came out with a video, and I think he's spot on. There was some miscommunication that happened, and they're move on past it, right? Like,
Well, what was it?
it was just supposed to be like a Kirill and Levon gripping up, and then Kirill went a little harder than originally agreed upon, I think. So I don't know the whole story. I wasn't there. So, I mean, we don't know, right? So.
Oh, Brian says what's stupid is that Levon didn't know about it. So the way I see it or heard it is that, hey, the event's in Georgia. Why not have the most popular guy in Georgia, the guy who has a statue of himself somewhere in there, I would imagine, and have him part of the show by having some kind of, I don't know if it's a, hey, let's grip up, take a photo op, whatever, picture, and it didn't go that way. You know what it reminded me of? Remember that Global Elite tournament or that series you went to?
I knew
SB?
you were going to say that. I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, I'm going there. And
The slap guy.
yeah, the slap guy pulled Kerdeka. It's like, that wasn't necessary, in my opinion. Wasn't necessary,
I think they're a little bit different. I think it was different than that. I mean, that was 100% of work from the start, right? To make them.
2 seconds, guys. I'm changing this battery.
Or just take it out, whatever.
No, then it will keep going off.
You can't take it out because they're all hardwired together.
Yeah.
I take mine out for the moment, and then I change it. But I guess my question is, and let me change the color of my background for this.
I'm getting allergy kicking my butt right now. About tired of it.
So here's my question. Do we need to have these exhibition matches or whatever like that? Because, if what I'm hearing is true, that Devon didn't know it was going to go that way, you don't want anybody hurt. You know what I mean? Is it necessary to have that? What do you think?
Like I said, we don't know the story. Like the people that were there know the story. Like things may get put this way and this way. But I mean, we can't go back on it now. It happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the important thing is like, okay, if there were some miscommunications, fix the communications going forward, and then it's prevented, right? So, there's no sense in dwelling on something, in my opinion, that's, where there was possibly miscommunication, and you just move on from it.
Yeah, I mean, GB's, saying, hey, this is WWE stuff. We want to get away from that. Brian Gable said, Levon put in a 4-hour workout in the morning and had no intention of a real match.
Well, of course. I mean,
why would you,
Yeah,
and
I don't disagree.
Josh goes, Levon couldn't handle 70% of Kirill power.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Levon
true.
was really fresh and ready, he would have threw him across the table.
I mean, I think Kirill could use both hands and his whole body, and I still don't think he moves Levon. Let's be honest. Kirill's just starting to transition from, bench press and powerlifting into arm wrestling. It's going to be a while before he is a reputable threat to anybody in the upper echelon of arm wrestling. Same thing for Brian and Eddie, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just start this and be amazing overnight, especially when you're not conditioned for it technique wise, bone density, tendons. It's just different.
So Jansen says, and I kind of see where he's going with this. I think it's fine and just miscommunication. People need to move on. And, we probably do, but do we need to continue this kind of stuff going forward is where I'm getting at.
No, it shouldn't happen. Like, if you do an exhibition match, doing it after the main event is weird.
Because then, if there's a reason why Ingen immediately had a video saying, "Hey, apologies, it probably shouldn't have happened, whatever." Because normally Ingen doesn't really do that, but he's doing that because he knows, this is probably not a bad idea, not a good idea, and probably should never happen. Because if it didn't bother Ingen, he would have never done that video, but he did. So it's an apology video. There you have it.
Didn't see that video.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, wrap on this event, guys, because we got other stuff we got to talk about.
Yes. Well,
I was going to say this, if you don't mind. The tickets for Arlington are up, available for purchase for anybody wanting to attend. If you go to the East versus West website, in-person tickets are available. I posted the link of that is posted in the flyer on Facebook right now. You can search it there. There's also a link to the hotel. Everything's selling quick. So definitely if you plan on staying at the host hotel or getting tickets, I would do it soon because it's going to be insane. Like, I don't know if you guys saw this. I'll show you this photo of what we're planning for the the LED screens. So this gives you a little bit of an idea of what it will look like in person through LED screens and stuff.
Nice.
So it's going to be insane.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Kind of wanted to touch on the. I don't want to bring up the issue with, but the fallout of it was that some arm wrestlers are no longer going to the Arm Gods event.
Oh yeah.
So they've replaced those people.
Yeah.
With matches that I personally think are better matches.
Well, I haven't seen the changes to. I've heard the one.
I don't know if it's confirmed, right? Do we know if it's confirmed?
It's confirmed.
It's confirmed. Okay. So can we talk about it?
Yeah, I got inside track. You talking about the
Nick
replacement for Corey West?
Yeah,
yes,
so
sir.
Corey.
Yeah, I can talk about that.
Did not want the lifetime ban that's now just this year, which is weird as shit. But anyway, he backed out of the match, which I thought was going to be a bit of a one-sided match in Corey's favor against Mendagas Dalskis. And I think this is a much better match. They've brought in Nick Stone, apparently.
It's a 50-50 match now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that is a way better match.
I think it went from being 100 to 0 to 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm happy Nick Stone is going to go ahead and be a part of Team USA for this Super Series that weekend, March 21st, actually on Friday. I'm excited. I reached out to him and says, hey, welcome to the team. He says, thank you. I said, hey, train hard, man, because he's coming. So, but I think, it won't be so one-sided. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Are there any other changes to any other matches that we know about, or is it just that one?
It was just that one.
Okay.
So, doggy dog.
Doggy dog. So, I offered to be the replacement. He's like, no, you're Canadian. I thought, with all this 51st state bullshit, maybe they would let me fill it anyway.
Well, I think the theme, is because the theme is
American Revolution.
Right. That's the theme. But hey, if here's the funny part. If Nick Stone happens to win this match, he has a good shot at it.
If I had $100 right now, I'd put it on Nick Stone.
Yeah.
If I had $100 right now, I'd put it on black at the casino on roulette because I don't have a clue on which one's going to win. It's that close. It's 50-50.
Right. However, can you imagine if Mendagas wins and then the Canadian or the UK guys come to Canada in October or later this year? Who do you think that main event match? That'd be you, right, Mr. SB? Yes or no?
Depends who they are affiliated with when they come.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they're affiliated with Winter Blast, which I have no issue with. Maybe the promotion they affiliate themselves with has no love for a Ryan Espy match.
What?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I
know it's hard to believe, Jody.
You do know that. So, the UK has their own identity.
I believe in
Ireland, UK, and that, right? So they just had January, right? They just had their UK versus Canada. So Pork Chop, BLM, and the guys, they all flew over there, right? Pork Chop came back with a belt. Okay, so now
you notice. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, Jody. But you notice where the bulk of these arm wrestlers are coming out of?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
We had a good event in Texas this weekend.
Yes, you want to touch base on that?
Yeah, Joss and Jolene are super close friends. Joss won that. Then we had Elizabeth Mossick and Jolene have a match. I mean, that was a very good match as well. Elizabeth was the stronger lady that day and came out on top, and congratulations to her. 241 entries into the tournament, and if that's any insight to how the East versus West tournament is going to be on Friday, it tells me that tournament's going to be massive, especially with everybody coming in from outside of Texas. But yeah, 241 entries, flawless, no injuries, which is huge. I love events where there's no injuries. I think we all prefer that way. Um, I think Danny won like 6 plaques, like one for a super match, and then he won 5 in weight classes because he just doesn't not want to pull everything, which is great.
Good for him.
The super heavyweight class was one of the best super heavyweight classes I've seen in Texas in a while. Robbie's still coming back from his bicep injury, so he wasn't there. But Brian Sitton was there. Mark Gresham ended up winning it right-handed. We had Louisiana's #1 out pulling as well. So I mean, it was a really good super heavyweight turnout. I mean, I think most classes were around 10 deep, which is really good as well. So, like I said, it was a really good turnout, really good event. We had Danny had a super match prior. We had a few TAL ranking matches as well, and congratulations to the winner of those. But yeah, bigger and better things, right? Especially for the state of Texas.
Amazing.
And it was at the event. It was at the
I know.
same venue. It was at the same venue, Brian, where you unfortunately
I know.
decided to blow your tricep.
The referee's fault, I'm telling you.
The hell you say?
Ah, man.
Don't you even put that evil. That was Tim's fault. He told you to press.
It's equal fault between the
Ooh,
referee and
there
the
you go.
coach.
The
Bob
heck you say?
Anderson. There's 2 statements I want to read. Bob Anderson says thoughts on Oleg Zolk versus Vrej. And Jay Clean says winner of Samusha versus Levon gets Bowen with 58 hours of to rehydrate.
I'm not even going to address the second one.
But
Bowen's gotta
Oleg
cut weight
and
to pull
Vrej, I don't believe that match happens unless it's in the States.
That only happens if it's in the States.
Yeah. It's a good match, though. I like the match.
I mean, you could put Tom Zrozitz against him as well. You could put against Oleg. You could also put Paul Talbot against him. Paul just actually beat Tom's. So, I mean, that's potential matchups. Tom's and Paul Talbot. I mean, I know Vrej did beat Paul Talbot. But, it's a styles thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you never know.
I'd like to point out, too, by the way, I wasn't aware that the Lithuanians were part of the American Revolution.
Oh, I thought he was South African.
Lithuania.
Okay.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, Neil put that out there. Yep. That is true.
Looking forward to the card.
Good point.
We have Jody's frozen in time.
Did you? Can we talk about the fact that Mac has put together some very intriguing super matches for the next event coming up?
Go ahead, run it, man.
We can.
Like, he's got Coach Ray coming in now, which is big. Porky's pulling oh my God, Jerome Loud.
Mm-hmm.
That is a match that I can get excited about.
Finally, ever since, and my man been getting some dirt put on him. Never got a replacement match when he was supposed to pull RVJ, at the Challenger Series that happened, 15 years ago? Where the fuck it was? So now we get to see him on a bigger stage, a big stage, and go, okay, finally.
So we also talked a little bit previously about the match between Matt Mask and Ole Danilov.
Oh, yeah.
It happened.
Who won?
They called it an exhibition or whatever it was because, contracts and all that fun stuff. I didn't see it, but I was told, because it's not easy to find.
It's left-handed too, right?
Left-handed. I was told okay. Matt won pretty handily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Joe Nelson says it wasn't even close.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it, but I will trust what you guys are telling me.
Mac 3 is going to be good. I'll buy that pay-per-view.
I will be watching it.
And you'll be there.
I did notice that they're having another event on the 29th of March, which is weird. I thought that was a bit weird.
Brandon L. Seltzer is on that match, I believe.
Yeah, they're running an event, I think, up in upstate New York, along with the tournament and stuff. So I don't know.
Lots going on.
When can we see you on there, SB?
I don't know. Taking a little rest after my Arnold's appearance. So we'll see.
You better bring home the title, man.
Well, that's the plan.
I mean, it's not going to be an easy day.
Do you know what you win? Because remember, then it was like the Letterman jacket, and that kind of thing. And I don't know if that's on the do you know what you win if you win the whole thing, aside from a future Knuckles Up match?
Well, I know there's $500, but I don't know what the trophies are. They usually treat everyone pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's $500 first place. So, yeah. Well, I don't know what second is. I don't look at it.
Damn. Wow.
Right.
That's funny. I like it. And
But
when you leave that,
there's going to be some stuff. There's some stuff going on that I didn't fully understand with the Arnolds too. There's a round robin and there's super matches on the one day.
The super matches I knew. The round robin I did not know.
I knew there would be super matches, but I have not seen what they are.
I mean, it's.
Ooh, there you go. You've been nominated for a match. David Jansen. Book it.
Who's Mike Mendy?
I thought when you said Mindy, I was like, Scott Mendelson? What?
I don't know who that is. Maybe I should.
I have a question. I have a question though.
Yeah.
Do you think they're trying to do too much with this first Arnold's with the left hand? I understand the left hand, right hand class. That's great. But now adding in the super matches and the round robin, it's like, I think we all know at Arnold's, you are under time restraints at all times.
Unless you have a booth to yourself.
They're not. I'm going to get that off of there.
Yeah, that's.
There was. There's a schedule. So the weight classes are each scheduled starting at 8:30 in the morning.
Oof.
And then they go throughout the day in time slots until they're down to the finals. Then the finals go on the main stage on the Friday for the right arm, I believe. Or maybe no, the Saturday for the right arm and the Sunday for the left. But all the prelims seem to happen on that first day.
Do you think it's they're trying to grow too big too quickly?
That's my point.
Like run the left, because we all know sometimes the right hand, you only a limited amount of time, but you're on the stage where you're sharing with a different sport. Here, you are just, you got your own stuff. But run the year one under this new regime, run that first, left and right, and then see how it goes. Because that way you can kind of go, this did work, this did not work. How can we fix it going forward? You know what I mean?
Well, I think that was kind of my point too, right? You're trying to do so much in your first year. If it falls flat, I mean, now we lose arm wrestling at the Arnold for good. Like,
well, I mean, they're trying to have a big splash, so I guess they'll do what they're going to do. Draw some attention because there'll be activity at that booth all day long.
Sometimes the smallest drop in a big pond creates a noticeable ripple. You know what I mean? Like
Confucius over here.
When you start trying to do too much too soon, sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. There's no soapbox right now, but it'll be on the After Dark. If you want to hear it, it'll be $59.99. Please feel free to,
We'll open up the After Dark for a few minutes because I got one too.
Oh, Jeebus. $59.99? Holy crap.
Yeah. And if you act now, I'll send you a free Captains of Crush #3 gripper. So
I don't want that.
Nice.
Oh, wait, I don't have to pay for the After Dark. That's right.
No, you're going to be a part of it.
Oh, I'm scared now.
Anyway.
Somebody send help.
We'll do a show next week. And
you better have your head on straight next week, man, because you leave next week, don't you?
Yeah, I leave on Wednesday. I drive to Grand Forks, and then I fly the rest of the way. Jay Clean, my class has Myrtila, and it's got Farida's Manoff.
That's going to be such a match. Farrad, it doesn't matter what form Farrad comes in. It's Farrad. He's good. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your top 3 right there.
But what order?
I'm not making no predictions. It depends. Here's what I'll say. The reason I can't make an accurate prediction is because we don't know which side of the bracket people are going to get put on
Right.
and how early on they're going to be paired up, right? You guys know as well as I do, it takes one round for Ryan and Farrad or Myrtla and Farrad or Myrtla and Ryan to just get into a war, and now they're blown up for the rest of the event. So, so it's hard to make an accurate prediction when you have people of that caliber pulling against each other, and we don't know how the bracket falls. If I could see the bracket, I can make an accurate prediction.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to be right, but.
And Fareed is not in the right arm.
Yes, Neil. Yes. Dark card 4. Speaking of which, when's the next Iron House, Neil?
Speaking of Neil, I will see you, sir, in Arlington in a few short weeks.
Yeah. All right, guys, ready to get out of here? And we're gonna do the After Dark. Sorry.
After Dark. That's right.
We should bring Neil onto the After Dark. Neil would love the After Dark.
Should I change the lighting? I'm gonna change the lighting.
You should go dark. Yeah, like purple.
Oh, we got purple.
Yeah, go dark purple. Oh, now we can't see. We lost Jody again. He went really dark.
All right, so long, everybody.